Dust up your DIY for a whole afternoon of solutions to household problems. Join Duncan Stewart for expert advice on renovations and conversions as DIY foundations are laid in our house. As a guide to restoration, this old house takes the lid off the art of painting and decoration, from marble paint effects to reviving an old floor. And Running Repairs gives practical advice as Barty Phillips turns her hand to maintaining a home, from waterproofing a fence to tips on how to wipe out stains. Inspiration all afternoon for the creative DIY enthusiast. DIY Day, next Saturday afternoon from 1 on TLC.
Twin Peaks has many dark secrets.
You ever heard of One-Eyed Jacks?
My log has something to tell you.
The owls are not what they seem.
This must be where pies go when they die.
It is happening again.
Twin Peaks' darkest secret is about to be revealed. Thursdays at 9 on Bravo.
Boys' Toys, 2 hours of high-speed, high-tech television. At 9, 60 action-packed minutes in the air, on land and at sea. Then at 10, slip into top gear with an hour of classic wheels. Boys' Toys, 2 hours at full throttle, starting every weekday at 9 on Discovery.
Hello, I'm Dr. Ian Dunbar.
And he's joined TLC for a brand new series.
Dumpy, come here. Come here. Steady. Who's that good boy? He's a good dog. Go on. Dogs with Dunbar is more than just a dog training program. It's really a program about relationships, developing a good relationship with your dog and making it easy to live with. And I'll tell you, if I can do it with Dumpy here, then you can do it with your dog. Speak, speak. Dumpy, good dog. A new series, Dogs with Dunbar, Sundays at 1 on TLC.
Turn your house into a dream home with TLC's very own Homefront. Starting every weekday morning at 10:30 with Our House. Award-winning architect Duncan Stewart shares his secrets on how to convert and transform houses. Then at 11 in Painted House, Debbie Travis shows how using the simplest techniques you can breathe new life into old rooms. And in Running Repairs at 11:30, Barty Phillips shows you how you can keep your home in tip-top condition with a practical guide to home maintenance. So, for the A to Z of DIY, there's no place like the Homefront. Every weekday morning from 10:30, only on TLC.
In half an hour, Tim goes beneath London to visit Churchill's wartime bunker and an underground cemetery. But first, a little piece of Celtic history in Western Ireland.
Hang on a minute. We've been here before, haven't we? Manchester International Airport and the Alcock and Brown statue marking the first non-stop transatlantic flight. But they didn't land here. Oh no. Today's programme will show you exactly where they did land. And talking of which, we've got a plane to catch.
It's a beautiful thing when I look at you and try to see the world from someone else's point of view. Trying to feel the best that I can, never really knowing all the wonders of this land.
See, can you imagine coming right the way across the Atlantic on a Vickers Vimy? Ice all over the wings. I mean, we've just jumped over here in less time than it took you to eat a breakfast. And now, rather than a 4-hour drive, we're going to skip over to the west coast. You want to sit in the window seat. You know I like sitting on the window. I love it, and you're... Yeah, all right, yes you can. When you get a window seat, you get a window seat, don't you? Listen, I know it looks stunning down there, but you won't believe it when you actually stand on it. And forget about being busy. I had a busy day yesterday. This is where we start to calm down. So you've organised this for us, have you? Jolly good, good, because we'll need it, you see. There's a long way to go from here. Sligo, out, right the way down the west coast. We've a lot of land to cover. Well, you've a lot of land to cover. You'll be doing the driving because I'm tired, as you know. Oh, because it was a very, very long day yesterday. It was business. It was business. I was doing business. Very important. Well, all right. It was a game of golf, but it was a long game of golf, and I need to relax now. I don't suppose you've got any remedies for tired executive bodies, have you? Isn't this beautiful? The breakers just gently falling into the sandy beach. Enniscrone, this delightful little bay. Show them where it is. Do you know, I could stand here for hours watching this. Is this what you brought me to relax me and put a bit of life back into this tired old soul? What? What are you looking at? A bathhouse. That bathhouse. Kilcullen's. This is no ordinary bathhouse. And in fact, it's been here since 1912. The same family, the Kilcullens, have been running it all that time. There's a bit of a strange smell in the air, and that's because these baths are seaweed baths. And it's supposed to be very good for you. Edward is the latest line in the family to be running the business. We've got the old steam box there, and we've got the bath here. So how does it work? I mean, the seaweed isn't in the water when it comes out of the tap, is it?
Well, what other comes out of the tap is warm seawater. We fill the bath up with hot seawater, which is pumped from the sea just outside the wall. We fill the bath up, then we'll take a bucket full of raw seaweed, fresh seaweed at that, treat it with steam, which extracts all the natural oils, the alginate. We'll pop that into your seaweed bath, mix it around. The net result is a warm bath full of seawater with seaweed in it. It's going to turn an amber colour. It's going to become lovely and oily in texture. And what you've got to do to relieve all your stresses is just to slip down into that bath along with the seaweed and wallow out.
Do you mind? I'm having a private bath here with my seaweed. Actually, it's beautiful. It puts a sort of oil all over you, so really thick oil all over your skin. Really nice. I mean, you've no idea how trying these golf days can be. And this is just what I need. I might even be able to finish the programme now. Apparently it's the oldest bathhouse still going, because all the others have closed down, but this one's carried on going since 1912. Just a hop, skip and a jump from Killala to Ballinar, and this group of stones. Now, the story has it that there were 4 foster brothers, and they murdered their tutor and the bishop, and his name was Cialach. I'm having difficulty with the Irish pronunciations. His brother came after them, convicted them of the crime, and hung them just across the water. And this marks their final resting place. Well, I don't know, it looks older than that to me. And anyway, I'm just going to buy it for now because, to be honest, I'm getting a bit tired again. No, I am, honestly. I could do with something that Ireland is also very famous for. Hospitality. And a dark glass of something wonderful. Do you think you can organise that for me? Thank you. No, that is not what I had in mind. Not at all. Doesn't even come close. Mind you, I suppose it'd be very refreshing, and I should thank you, really. Anyway, where are we? All right, so we're near to Riverstown, but we're going through some woods. Where are we? Cooper's Hill Country House Hotel. You mean these are the grounds of the hotel? And this is where we're staying? Here? Wow! Well, my friend, you are completely forgiven. That is quite marvellous. Get the bags, will you? Yes, come in. I'm just... this is wonderful. Let me tell you all about it. Cooper's Hill gets its name from the Coopers who lived here on the hill, clearly, and then through marriage, they became the O'Haras. And there have been 7 generations of O'Haras taking care of business here since 1774. This is Brian and Lindy, who are the 6th generation. How'd you do? I should just shake hands. How'd you do? Thank you very much indeed. Thank you for bringing me a drink. He may or may not have one later. Anyway, Brian's mum started operating a little bit as a hotel during the summer weeks. And then Brian started doing it full-time with his family. And it's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? And the nice thing about it is that it's still run like a family home. You see, you get to sit with the family silver, big long tables, all the guests there from all over the world. You're going to meet them from Chicago. Well, yes, they're different. Everything's different. This is a different country, a different currency, a different way of life. You get the crack here. And talking of the crack, what happened to you last night? 1 minute sitting bolt upright in your chair, and the next minute I'm apologising for your snoring. This is what we were talking about. You see, you missed out on this discussion. W.B. Yeats, one of Ireland's most celebrated poets? No. Well, you will know, because we're about to set off on a Yeats's trail. And strangely, our tour starts off here at Carrowmore, which is just to the west of Sligo, right in the heart of Yeats country, but also Europe's most significant megalithic cemetery. And this is the star player in the cemetery. It's tomb number 7, and it's a passage tomb, and it dates back 5,290 years. It stood the test of time. The main burial was in there, and then there were 18 to 20-year-old girls buried around it, each of them with a tiny fragment of an older man's skull and unopened oysters. Yes, I think you're right, some sort of ritual going on. But you can imagine Yeats here getting a real sense of place. Go gather by the humming sea some twisted echo harbouring shell, and to its lips thy story tell. No. But are you getting into the Irish way of life now? Feeling relaxed, not wanting to move on? No, all right. Now, this is a place where you really could come and relax a while. In fact, Yeats did. This is Lissadell House. It's just a little further to the west, worth a quick look to see exactly where it is. It was here that Yeats became very friendly with the 2 daughters, Eva, who was a poet like himself, and Constance, who was the Countess Markovich, went on in 1918 to be the first ever female elected to Westminster Parliament. But she never took a seat because, of course, she was elected as a member of Sinn Féin, which means ourselves alone. And they did, alone, set up the first Irish Dáil, or Parliament. In fact, Yeats himself got involved in the parliamentary system a little later. She went on to be the Minister for Labour. So this house, in his writing as well, has a great sense of importance around that critical part of Ireland's history. Where the wandering water gushes from the hills above Glencar, in pools amongst the rushes that scarce could bathe a star, we seek for slumbering trout. The waterfalls of Glencar still as beautiful today as they were when Yeats enjoyed them. And it brings us to the end of our Yeats Trail. Are you up for a bit of a drive? Only it's a long way to Galway.
Bill and Bobby Irvin are still living life to the full, passing on their skills to a new generation. When we told them about a life protection plan, especially for people their age, they were impressed.
If, like us, you're aged 50 to 80, you can take care of the future while you enjoy life today, thanks to a special plan from Sun Life. It's the Over 50 plan. From just £6 a month, that's 20 pence a day, you can secure a cash sum on death to leave to your partner or loved ones, or to relieve any concerns about funeral expenses.
You won't have to take a medical or answer any questions about your health. Your acceptance is guaranteed.
And two people, for example a husband and wife, can each apply and enjoy the same benefits. For details of how Sun Life can accept you for lifelong insurance, call free now on 0800 55 60 60. You will receive your personal quotation by post. Apply now and you will be able to choose one of these delightful gifts, free to welcome you as a policyholder.
You can also get your first month's cover free if you act straight away.
It's a great feeling to know you are protected with the Over 50 plan. The lines are open. Call now free on 0800 55 60 60. Life's been good to us, and Sun Life can be very good for you.
Shall we?
Every day's a gardening extravaganza right here on TLC. Learn how to grow with Joe Maiden and keep up to date with Gardener's Diary. It's the best way to a beautiful garden.
I wish to make you all exceedingly jealous now. This is my garden.
Everything for the seasoned gardener and the uninitiated. Gardening tips, weekdays at 9:30 on TLC.
Now, hold on a minute. Hold on. Uilleann pipes. Did you see that? Do you know what it means? Uilleann means elbow pipes. It's like bagpipes when you play them with your elbow. It says Charles Roberts, Uilleann pipe maker. Should we go in? Right, have a look. This is John, Charlie's youngest son. Inside is Alan, who's going to play us something, and Charlie, who's in a tiny little workshop making the pipes. We'll go and have a look. Come on, John, come with me.
Okay.
I think John quite fancies being a cameraman. Go on, you get up on there, sit down on your seat, and I'll squeeze past and say hello to Charlie. How do you do? Nice to meet you. You're a Geordie out here in Ireland,
right.
Making pipes for the... Well, is it for the Irish or is it for all over the world?
For all over the world, basically, yeah. My wife's from Sligo.
So that's
why we're living here, yeah. Yep.
Right. And these are they. Can I touch?
That's a half set of Uilleann pipes, concert D set. That particular set will be going to America.
To America, this one? And you sell them at your Australia, all over the place?
All over Europe, most of the world, yeah.
And you make every single part of these?
They're a handmade instrument, basically, yes.
I really just don't understand how anyone can have the talent to make all of that, but there we go. That's because I have very little talent. So,
somebody's here, Daddy.
Someone's here. All right, you go and see to that then. John's off. So, is this a labour of love?
Well, I suppose it would have to be, really. You would never get rich making pipes, you know that.
Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Excuse me.
Well, John's back. So he's a director now. That's what he is. He's a director. Oh, and we've got a letter. There you go. And I'm afraid it looks like a bill. I'm sorry about that. Right. So are you going to give us an example of how they work then, Alan? Yeah? All right. I'll get out of the way. I'll leave you to it. And thank you very much for sparing some time. Well, there you are. Knock International Airport. And it's huge. You can land the biggest planes in the world here. Jumbos, anything. You name it, you can put it down here. And if you see where it is, precisely, it's in the middle of nowhere. Why? Well, I'll show you. On the 21st of August, 1879, 15 people witnessed that vision of the Virgin Mary, St. John and St. Joseph, exactly as it is there on the gable end of the old Knock Church. That little church grew and grew. The people that saw the vision were interviewed by the church authorities, and their stories were incredibly accurate in every detail. And in fact, 50 years later, some of those witnesses were interviewed again and found to be honest and truthful. From that one vision, that huge church has grown. The Pope came along on the centenary of the vision and preached here under that Celtic cross, and then gave the blessing to the basilica behind me, which seats 7,000 people. And down at the bottom end, a chapel of reconciliation. So from one vision, all of this has grown. And whatever your belief, it is an interesting thought that 1.5 million people every summer make the journey to Knock. Right, well, we've been following an old trading route down the country. You show us where we are now on the map. Now, we came through the walls of the town, didn't we? Well, in the northeastern quarter of those walls is Athenry Castle. This is it. There are one or two things that are really splendid about this castle. This is one of them. The carvings in the doorways. Really unusual for a Norman castle to have carvings like that. You get it in churches and things, but you just don't get it in castles. Come on in. This is another reason. The windows are done pretty much like church windows, as opposed to the arched castle windows that you normally get. Now, those are really peculiar to this place. About 1235, it was all built by a man called Miller de Birmingham. It's a long way up. We've got to climb. Now, Miller de Birmingham was a sort of Anglo-Norman. The Normans had been in England for quite some time, so they'd become slightly Anglified, but they were still dishing out land all over the place like their predecessors. And this part of Ireland was dished out to the de Birminghams. And they built the castle here because we're going up again. Come on. It was strategically placed on the road running from north to south and east to west of Ireland. So it blocked any entrances from all of those directions. Now, because the land had been given away, the Irish princes and kings, there were 4 principal kings, came together with Robert the Bruce's brother, Edward, and they marched on this castle to take back their land. And in one day alone, 8,000 men perished in Ireland's second biggest battle, which took place right out there, in a field that now appears to be occupied by scrap cars. But that's where it all happened. And because Edward Bruce and then Robert Bruce took such a thrashing there, that actually stopped Robert Bruce's chances of getting any further with England, or indeed Ireland and Wales. You've had enough, haven't you? Do you want to eat? You always want to eat, so I have a treat for you. Why couldn't you just have had, like, fish and chips, like anybody else, or a burger or something? Clarenbridge. Oh, the Oyster Festival. Oh, right. Well, apparently it's been going on for 41 years, and people come from all over the world to eat these oysters and to have some beer with it. And apparently Morans, who actually own this place, Morans at the Weir, they've got 700 acres of oyster beds out there that they farm, and then they sell them here, you see. And yes, that's one of them, which is raw. There's a bit of lemon in there. I've put some lemon in, and you can have Tabasco and things, and you just whoosh it down, you see, in one. Oh, look at the thatch up there. That's quite interesting, isn't it? There we go. Lovely. Really enjoyed that. Very nice. See why you like them now? Get that fly off. There we go. Ah. Look, you should be over here. This is interesting, looking at the Cladder rings. Cladder is the name of a tiny little fishing village, but I'm telling you, these things are famous all over the world. Richard Joyce designed it, first of all. It's 2 hands clasping a heart with a crown on top, and it's really important. See, there they are. Now, you can wear that in all sorts of different ways. You can, well, basically, it shows whether you're available or whether you've actually got somebody. These are ladies' rings, actually. And you'd give this to maybe the person you loved, you know, but what are you doing? What are you doing? There is no woman in your life, is there? You haven't got a girlfriend, have you? Have you? It's not that woman who came round to mend the washing machine, is it? Well, who is it? No, who is it? You see, that's the beauty of Ireland. You leave Galway and you turn down a tiny little winding coastal road that seems to go on forever, and then suddenly you come across 50 acres of beautiful gardens, and set in the heart of them, Cashel House Hotel. Do you know that one of the first guests here was Charles de Gaulle? He stayed here for 2 weeks in '69. And it's a perfect place for a gentleman like him and me, because you can go shooting, hill climbing, golfing. You can even do a spot of pony trekking. They've got their own horses at the back. You like that? They've also got their own beach, so we can do some fishing. You see, this is what Ireland's all about. Beautiful water, beautiful weather, fabulous scenery, and a spot of fishing. Absolutely brilliant. What? Oh, look. Do you really have to know now? Right, OK, well, next time you join us, we're going to be... It's hard to believe. We're going to be underground. We won't have any sunshine. We're doing the whole programme under London. Secret passageways, secret tunnels, silver stored away, under department stores, Churchill's bunker, you name it, the whole programme underground. What? Oh, yes, actually, yes, we did, didn't we? We said we'd do that, and it's just up there. All right, we'll get to it in just a second. So, right back at the beginning, really, to end with, because it was here on the 15th of June, 1919, early in the morning, that Alcock and Brown came in and touched down, the first men ever to cross the Atlantic non-stop. You're being all arty again, aren't you? Come round here. You know, they only just made it, because the sea's just there, and actually they landed just over there. There's a little white mark showing it. This is just a monument behind me that they put up to mark the spot. You see how close they were? And I guess there's not going to be another plane along for quite some time now, so we best get back. Listen, it's not the blonde girl at the chip shop, is it, that always offers you extra crispy bits?